What is a good daughter? Good grades, choir girl. Same thing as a good mother in a lot of ways. Caregiver, tending to things, picking up the pieces, helping out, overextended.
Not me. Cheerleader, busy being good, not busy being bad. Being respectful, cleans, helps with the siblings, mommy junior.
Educated, healthy, caretaker of parents and siblings, independent, reliable.
Not rebellious, refined, smart, athletic, good relationships with men, appropriate and healthy, stays close to mother and adulthood.
Incarcerated daughters, 2009.
I'm 28 years old. This is the first time I'm incarcerated for longer than a day. Anything close to jail or trouble is completely foreign to my family.
My family is educated.
My family are not rule breakers.
My family just doesn't do that sort of thing.
My family doesn't go to jail.
My family doesn't understand jail.
My family is not only sad that I'm incarcerated,
They are
ashamed
ashamed.
of it.
But they try to be supportive.
July 21st.
It's my 29th birthday. I'm content to hide under my blanket and not arise until the next day. I'm extremely depressed.
During morning visitation, I'm called out to find my 60-year-old mother and my 80-year-old grandmother behind the glass.
With a full bouquet of roses.
Waving.
Excitedly.
With absolutely no concept that not only am I unable to touch the roses, they have to take them with them when they leave.
If I hadn't been in a small county, they would never have been able to get them to the visitation window in the first place.
The other inmates are staring at me, trying to figure out what is going on.
And there my family is.
Just waving so happily.
It's a sweet gesture, but I want to die. Forgetting my birthday is no longer an option.
1997.
I'm almost 18. It's my first time going to jail, and all I have is my dad. He's now my mother and my father. He and my 9-year-old sister come there to visit me.
We look at each other through the glass.
My dad isn't smiling.
I have the phone up to my ear,
My dad doesn't understand how to use it.
and I'm gesturing for him to pick it up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you? Are you okay?
I can see my little sister looking around. She looks confused and worried, eyes taking everything.
My dad rubs her head, trying to calm her.
Don't worry. She won't be here forever.
I watch my dad grip his seat, fearing for his oldest daughter behind the bars. I can see him looking around at the guards coming down the hall and thinking,
Oh my God. My child is in here.
I leave with the feeling that my dad is gonna make sure that I get out of that place.
But I can see the pain in his heart.
This same pain my mother would have had.
Incarcerated mothers. 1989. I am 16 years old. I am in juvenile detention. My son, Joseph, is born.
1990.
I am 17 years old. I am out of juvenile detention. My daughter, Christina, is born.
1991.
I'm not a good mom. I don't know how to be a parent. I'm on drugs. I'm not really taking care of my kids at all.
I'm living with my adopted mom, and she talks me into putting my kids in a place that would be safe for them until I get better.
Foster care.
I don't really understand what's going on.
I go to New Life Pregnancy Center in Houston.
It's an adoption agency. They also do things like help young mothers learn how to breastfeed.
While we're there, a lady asked me,
Would you like to get a pregnancy test?
why?
It's just a precaution.
Sure. I don't think I'm pregnant. Surely I'm not pregnant.
The test comes back. I'm pregnant.
I don't know what to do.
My son is screaming.
My daughter is crying.
My mom is crying.
I have sandals on, and as I'm leaving, my fucking shoe breaks.
I'm done. I tell my mom.
When I get back to the house, I'm getting some stuff, I'm leaving, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
She tries to talk me out of it, but she can't.
My kids are put in foster care.
I do everything in my power to have a miscarriage. I do more drugs in that time period than I have ever done in my life.
I do not believe in abortion, but it's kind of the same thing.
But she holds on. My little girl holds on.
January 1992.
I get arrested. Thank God.
I'm sent to Harris County Jail,
And it's gross.
I'm miserable.
and I'm getting big.
The mattresses are either really, really lumpy or really, really thin.
The guards treat me worse because I'm pregnant.
You're a
You're
fucking mother. You're breaking the law.
They don't care about my baby. To see the doctor is an act of Congress. I don't get prenatal vitamins until I've been there a month or so.
Close to my due date, they moved me to the medical floor, and now I'm closer to the doctor that I never get to see.
It's a little more cush. I have a hospital bed with a thicker mattress. They try to make me comfortable.
The people from the pregnancy center in Houston come to visit me.
Have you considered adoption?
Are you freaking crazy? I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep my babies.
June 1992.
I know I am going into labor. It's my third child. You just know.
I keep telling them.
I'm going into labor. I know I am.
My mucus plug falls out. That's a sign you're fixing to have a baby.
And
They
they won't
won't
listen,
listen.
and they won't listen.
Finally, they bring me back there, and I'm not dilated enough.
10 minutes later, shortly after I get back in the cell, the contractions are coming down, and it's horrible.
I keep banging on the door.
They won't come, and they won't come.
Finally, they take me back to the doctor again. He says,
I just checked you. You're not ready.
check me again.
Oh no, this girl gotta go.
I think you fucker, I was trying to tell you.
June 12, 1992.
My baby girl is born.
The pregnancy people come back to see me.
I don't know what happened that day. Maybe God changed me. I put all 3 of my kids up for adoption. They gave me a packet this big. I have to initial every single line as I read it for all 3 of my kids.
I have my baby.
They let me name her Amanda.
Amanda.
They let me dress her, and then they take her.
My 2.5-year-old son Joseph and my 1.5-year-old daughter Christina get adopted by one family, and my baby Amanda by another.
I get to pick the families.
For Amanda, I picked David and Livette.
I can't really remember why.
For the oldest 2, I picked Ron and Cindy.
I picked them because Ron has used drugs in his past, and I think he'll know if my kids are using drugs.
He'll
He'll
know.
know.
Also, they have a lot of dogs for my babies to play with.
I'm not ready to stop doing drugs.
I'm not ready to stop breaking the law.
I don't want to put my kids through that.
I know now that my higher power was working through me that whole time. It's the best and most selfless decision I've ever made. 2009.
My last arrest is after a relapse. It becomes clear that even though it's been years since I have been in any trouble, because of my record, I will be going to prison.
My boys are ages 5, 3, and 1.
My husband and I have a lot of preparation to do. We have to figure out how the children would be taken care of so that my husband can go to work and pay the bills, not just for childcare.
Once we work out all those details, it comes time to prepare the kids. How do I tell them about this?
We have a bedtime ritual. I go and I tuck them in and we say our prayers together. My 3-year-old Ryan has his own ritual, and it has to go exactly like this. Ryan says, night, night. And I say, night, night. And Ryan says, good night. And I say, good night. And Ryan says, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And then we have a hug and a kiss, in that order.
In this bedtime ritual, I prepare them for the things that will happen the following day.
Since young kids really don't have a concept of time, I tell them, tonight it will get dark outside, and then we'll go to sleep. And when we wake up, the sun will be out, and this is what we'll do.
So we sit the kids down and get them ready for mommy to be gone.
I know other women who decide not to tell their children where they're going. They say they're either off at school or some story like that.
And while that may have helped my pride, it just didn't feel like the right thing to do.
So I decide to use this as a teaching opportunity.
And I tell them, just like you have consequences when you break the rules, so do adults. Jail is just a timeout for grown-ups.
They seem to understand. That night at bedtime, they ask,
Mommy, when will you come home?
And the only way I can explain it is, tonight it will get dark outside, and you're gonna go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, the sun will be out. And this will happen a lot of times, and then I'll be home.
What is a good mother? Loving, nurturing, very involved.
I'm not sure I want to start naming good mother qualities because I'm afraid I won't match up to them. Is it situational? I remember when Dylan broke a window and I posted it on our Facebook neighborhood page. And I said, this is my son Dylan. If you see him out in the neighborhood doing something wrong or being disrespectful, please let me know. I need him to know that his community will hold him accountable. And people commented, good job, Mom. And I thought, yay, I got it right one time.
Wow. Provider, strong, soft, gentle, tough, responsible, pretty.
Strong, stable, loving unconditionally, expects truth and fosters such, slow to react, quick to help, open to understanding my children in the context of their relationships with others, sets boundaries, initiates challenges in a healthy way, and above all, a good listener.
Family reunions.
2003.
I am 23 years old, and it is the day of my release for the first time I come home from prison.
14 months.
My grandmother drives all the way to Gatesville to pick me up,
She brings me my old clothes.
but I gained 50 pounds while I was in prison, and none of them fit.
I gained 70. I felt like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Girl.
34 and a half.
Girl, I went from a size 5 to a size 14. Talk about the Mitchell man.
I'm trying to pull up my blue jean capris, and I cannot get them past my hips.
Whew. Then my friends Hillary and Lynette show up.
They bring me a pair of gray, white, and blue Air Nike Shox,
Gray velour capri outfit.
Makeup I like.
and a fake ponytail so that I don't have to walk around with my hair a mess. And Hillary tells me,
I'm gonna take you to Richmond Mall, Colleen, and we're gonna go shopping.
I am so focused on getting back out to go and party. I tell my grandma, I'm riding with them.
My grandmother looks just disappointed and says,
Well, we're gonna be making dinner, so you just make sure to come home.
And I think it's just a regular dinner. I have no idea that she's planning a small family party for me.
My grandmother goes home and prepares my favorite meal for me.
enchiladas.
As always, she prepares 2 pans, one with onions for the house and one without, just for me.
But I don't make it home for dinner.
My grandmother is so upset, she doesn't let anyone else eat the enchiladas or the cake she bought.
She throws it all in the trash.
I finally come home from party at 2 a.m. and my family is so disappointed in me that they all come back the next day to get on my case.
Your grandmother is sick. and in a wheelchair.
She went through so much to buy a cake and cook your favorite food.
She's the one who came to see you. Where were your friends then?
If it was me, you would be standing here now.
My aunt has my little cousins with her, and they're sitting there listening to everyone chew me out. And at the end, 6-year-old little Desi asked,
So Sheikah, who did you kill?
I'm like, what? I didn't kill anyone.
Oh, I thought people only went to prison for killing people.
And that gets my family off my back for just a little while because they're too busy laughing at little Desi.
2010.
I am back at home. My kids are playing with their friends, except I'm a little mortified to overhear them saying,
You're under arrest.
I'm taking you to jail.
and I quietly observe and hope that this is just normal child's play and not inspired by my own true events.
Motherhood.
It's complicated. I imagined that I would be this nurturing mom who would sit on the floor and play with her kids and teach them important lessons in a calm and loving way. So how is it that I find myself yelling so much?
Cursing more than I think is okay.
I have this idea in my mind of the mom that I'm supposed to be, and the mom that I am doesn't even fit in her shoes.
Using anger to control is about as far away as we can get from actually having any control.
But I see patterns of behavior in my children that remind me of paths that I've taken, and it's scary. I want to guide them away from some of those paths.
My fears get masked by anger.
And anger feels more powerful than fear.
But I don't want to be mad all the time.
2013. Right before Mother's Day, I received a beautiful Mother's Day card from my youngest daughter, Amanda, with 22 pictures of her and her family.
22 pictures.
That summer, I drive to Houston and I'm reunited with both my daughters. It's the best day of my life.
2014.
Amanda and I text every single morning. She lives in Georgia and is a devout Christian. She loves Jesus just like me. She says you talk to me more than my adopted mom does. One day she even calls me mom, and I'm overwhelmed.
2015.
The honeymoon's over. It all happens via text message.
March 10th.
Did you get my message and the pictures?
Yeah, they're so cute.
My best friend / partner, Sherry, cannot wait to meet you this summer.
Me neither! Exclamation point.
I told you about us, right?
I'm not sure.
Perhaps we can talk about that whenever you would like. It was not something that came, this was not something that came without much prayer.
Is it good?
Oh my goodness, yes. Our relationship is a major blessing. She loves Jesus and I love Jesus.
Well, that's good. But what haven't you told me?
Sherry and I are a couple.
I don't remember you telling me that.
You can ask me anything you want. I really want to hear your thoughts on this.
March 11th, 2:55 p.m.
Love y'all.
6:06 p.m.
How are y'all?
8:43 p.m.
Are you upset with me?
9:49 p.m.
I just want you to know I love you.
March 12th.
I've been thinking about what you told me the other day.
Will you talk to me about it, please?
How long have y'all been together?
We've been best friends for 2.5 years. In November, we decided that we were more than just friends. That came from lots of prayer. We are in a completely committed, loving relationship. I am so sorry that I didn't tell you before. I realized I hadn't because I was afraid of losing you.
March 15th.
Hi, sweetheart. Did you get my text the other day?
March 19th.
I love you.
March 24th.
I miss you.
April 7th.
I love you.
April 13th.
I love you so much, Amanda. I miss our daily texts. I pray one day you can forgive me and allow me to be a part of y'all's life again.
Well, I'm never going to accept or support this decision. I don't want to lose you, but this isn't how God meant for the world to be, and I firmly believe that. I really wish you wouldn't be this way so things could stay the same.
April 21st.
I know you don't agree with my decision. I love you and my grandbaby so much. My heart is breaking. I do not want to lose you or your family.
I don't want to lose you either, but I just can't support this. How long have you been this way?
I just don't want to lose you. You mean more to me than anything.
I know.
Amanda was the first of my kids to send me a Mother's Day card. This year, she didn't even wish me a happy Mother's Day. I get that she can't support it. What I don't understand is how she can just cut me off like that. I just don't understand that. March 2015.
My children, both boys, ages 5 and 2, are currently living in Galveston with my ex's parents while I get back on my feet after jail and rehab. Once I'm able to support them in a way I feel is healthy,
A stable job.
A support system.
And presence of mind.
they will move to Austin to live with me. In the midst of living separated from my boys, I am faced with the challenge of how to talk to them about the reasons behind our separation, the reasons still keeping us apart, and how we can find the positive in this situation.
One of the biggest issues is how to calm my son's flare-ups of sadness and anger.
Especially my 5-year-old.
To help him process, we often talk about gratitude, those things we appreciate in the midst of our sadness or disappointment, or when trying to be patient.
I describe to him the idea of progress, and I tell him,
Even though we are not living together yet, we are closer to the goal than we were a month ago, and even still closer than we were 6 months ago. It's like running a marathon race. There are a couple people in front of us, but we can see the finish line.
And he gets the metaphor. He understands the concept of incremental change.
He calls me one day.
When am I going to live with you, Mommy?
I quickly change the subject.
Tell me 3 things you are grateful for. Mommy, I'm grateful that you're not in jail anymore. I'm grateful that you're not at the doctor anymore. And I'm grateful we are making progress.
I hope, I wish, I wonder. I hope my children will find joy in everything they do. I wish I knew my place in their lives. I wish that I could see inside each one of their hearts so I could really know what they were thinking about me and my decision. I wonder if my children really understand the reason I placed them up for adoption. I didn't do it because I didn't love them. I did it because I loved them. I hope they understand that.
I hope to inspire independence, truth, and laughter in my children. I hope that they always feel loved unconditionally. I wish for my silence to speak louder than my voice when it comes to discipline. I wish peace and prosperity for them. I wonder, how do I balance my passion with my ability to nurture? How do I let my children fail?
I hope that I'm able to use the small and fleeting amount of time that I have left with my children while they're children in an effective way. I hope to leave them with happy memories of childhood, but also a solid foundation for their futures. I wish that the price of wisdom wasn't always experience. I wonder what they will remember fondly from their childhood.
I hope that if I become a mother, I can be just like the mother my mother was to me for the short time that she was here with me. I wish to be a package of all the best parts of the mothers that I've ever encountered. I wonder what type of mother I would be.
May 2015.
I live in a rough neighborhood. I come home from work at 11:30 p.m. and it's raining. There's a little boy in the street on his scooter, still outside with no shoes on. I asked him, "Where do you live?" He points and he lives 8 apartment units away from me. And I tell him, "Come on, I'll walk you home." And I've decided that when I get up there, I'm going to give his mother a piece of my mind. I take him back to the apartment and I knock on the door. But when his mother opens, finally, it's obvious that she's on crack. The little boy looks sad and looks around the apartment like, "Why did you bring me back here?" I tell her it's dangerous for a child his age to be out there at night by himself in our neighborhood, let alone with no shoes on. And as I walk away, I can only say a prayer for them both. It takes 2 parents to have a child, but it takes a village to raise them.
A mother can be as strong-willed as she wants, but she needs help.
If you know a child who is struggling or has a mother in jail, reach out to them.
Because there's someone that they're missing.
And there's someone who's missing them.
I hope,
I wish.
I wonder.